you verify with Bill that we're recording? Just bear with us, George.
I am super delayed here.
We just want to verify that we are recording the meeting as well.
Yes,
Okay.
we are recording.
Thank you, Bill. All right, George, it's your meeting.
Yeah, Ron, I don't, can you hear me?
Yes.
All
I
right.
can hear you fine, yep.
All right, because I was super delayed before. And now it's got me on a screen that says my meeting should start in a few. So I don't know exactly what's happening here, but I do want to start. There we are. I do want to start by thanking all of our healthcare professionals, the doctors, the nurses, people on the front line fighting the diseases, all the people that work in the health field, the cleaners, all of the people in our community who are doing a wonderful job, and the cleaners in our buildings who are trying to keep everything safe, and such a great job that everybody's doing. Our administrative team, the pivot to distance learning, the buy-in from the community from what I'm hearing. So I do want to just thank everybody. I hope I didn't leave anybody out, but if I did, please know that I thank you as well. We're going to move on now to the superintendent's report, COVID-19 update, distance learning update. With you, am I?
All right, thank you, George. Yeah, we are now in day 3 of distance learning, and this has been a process that has carried. We started very early on, getting ourselves prepared. About 2.5 weeks ago, or maybe 3 weeks ago, I should say, we had come in and we had seen that things were happening very quickly. We immediately started to have conversations internally about what this might look like. And we started to put things in place to suggest that how would we manage deploying 600 Chromebooks to 1,500 students so that we could have an online environment for every child and be able to transition. I have to say, I have to give a ton of credit to our Center Moriches Teachers Association and our outstanding administrative team. Not a person blinked, and everybody saw this as something that needed to be done right from the start. We took a very proactive approach, and I'm really proud of the level of support we had from everyone in the Center Moriches community. We began with some surveys to determine technology needs. We started to move in a very quick direction toward getting the Chromebooks in the hands of every single 9th through 12th grader so that they would be able to continue their instruction. We decided that we would, and again, in cooperation with the CMTA, the Teachers Association, we decided that what we would do is try to ensure that we could roll this out in a very strong way. So we actually moved to bring our spring break into last week. That enabled good planning and enabled us to roll out those Chromebooks and have a great distribution plan in which we were able to utilize our bus transportation to move all instructional packets and materials to our elementary students, as well as use our high school library as a staging area to deploy those Chromebooks. Once we determined that we were able to get all our our 6 through 12 students, because we did do the middle school at the same time, we had a staggered schedule respecting social distancing. And I must say that the level of cooperation and support we got from the community in that was outstanding. Once the 6 through 12 were completed and we knew we had enough reserves to be able to make it into our 3 through 5 grades, we started that. And today we distributed a number of Chromebooks to our 3rd through 6th grade students. Tomorrow, between 8 a.m. and 12 p.m., we will be having a second day of distribution of those Chromebooks. And we anticipate that we will have enough reserves, or we will be purchasing more so that we can then roll down into our grades, kindergarten through 2nd grade. So our 3rd stage of deployment will be in the primary grades. All of our teachers have either received training or very quickly came on board with various platforms, mostly using Google and Google Classroom or Google Sites, so that they have an environment, an online presence where they can distribute materials and have access to the children. It has been, I have to say that I think as a public education system, we've moved more in 2 weeks than we have in probably about 100 years. But it has been a challenge because we know that school, this is not school. What this is actually us doing all we can to provide learning opportunities for kids so that their instruction can be continuous and progress. It has been a challenge because we understand that in an environment like this, one of the biggest challenges and one of the most important things that kids have is a connection to school. Without the connection to school, learning can be a greater challenge and somewhat meaningless. So we have been doing all we can to emphasize maintaining a positive attitude, maintaining a connection to our schools. Our teachers have been reaching out. On Monday, we talked with our the leadership of the Teachers Association, and we all agreed that there are certain expectations that we need to have. And one of those is 100% student contact. So we were striving for 100% student contact by Tuesday. For anybody that was not able to make contact, we would be able to, have as many efforts, opportunities as possible to try to make that contact. But certainly if we don't have successful contact by Friday, we will step up a different level of engagement to try to get our social workers, or if we need interpreters, to go out and reach out to kids and make sure that they are connected. We've tried to do our messaging via letters, via ConnectEd, Blackboard Connect phone calls, and most recently we're utilizing quick videos where we're sending clips, short, manageable clips, so that people can get the information that they need. As I said, it's been a challenge, but I give our teachers a ton of credit. We are following a model that is attempting to, we need to ensure that no one's left behind. No teachers left behind, no kids left behind, certainly. So we're trying to be as equitable as possible in this, understanding that the learning that happens in our homes has to be a learning where that can work for everybody. We understand that we've got parents in different circumstances. We understand that we've got, 2 family homes that have 1 child and might be able to manage this easily. We also understand that we have perhaps single parent homes that have multiple children, that this becomes problematic and very, very challenging to manage. So we're trying to be sympathetic and understand and ask our teachers to come up with a model for instruction that really works for them. We understand that at the high school level, kids are much more independent and can log on their own. However, in the elementary grades, they might need more support. So we're thinking of all these things. Our administrative team meets every morning at 9 a.m. To plan and troubleshoot. And we've been doing that for about 3 weeks now. And our faculty council and the administrative team, they are meeting now on a weekly basis so that we can work as partners through this. So to sum it up, we have launched. We are pushing for 100% student contact, trying to emphasize the positives, trying to keep kids engaged in so many ways. Our counselors are setting up different social skills groups and things like that kids can participate in. And we're utilizing teletherapy for children for other kinds of services, especially for counseling services and things like that. So we're really attempting to recreate all the great things that we do in our school on a daily basis, and we're trying to create that digitally. As I said, it has been an enormous task, but credit goes to our teachers, credit to the administrators in our district, and credit goes to the parents for your level of support and helping us and being so supportive in your efforts to make sure that we don't skip a beat. We certainly want to get feedback and understand how we can do it better, because that's our goal. If this is going to be, right now, the governor's executive order has us out of physical school until the 15th of April. But we certainly know the predictions are that the virus will peak in that 2 weeks. So I would suggest that it likely will be a longer closure, and we need to be prepared for that eventuality. And that's just what we're doing. When it first happened, we were in a mode of, oh, it looks like we could be out. We potentially could be out for a little while. Now we're looking at it that this is a little bit, obviously, much more extended, and we are planning accordingly. So that's basically a quick update on where we're at in terms of the distance learning and the level of unprecedented cooperation we've had between our administrative team and our teachers. At this time, I think I could, George, did you want to open it up to public questions, or do you want me to go right into Kerry's budget presentation?
Oh, I don't think he's in.
You had to admit him, Ron. He dialed in on his phone because his audio on his computer was poor. So I don't know if Nofi or you can admit him.
Yeah, he's iPhone 3.
Yeah.
Are you back in?
I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on.
Is it the dial-up? Or no, both?
Yeah.
Can we take questions after the presentation, maybe, if we want to?
Both. I have it like I had it for exec.
Oh, there you go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's better.
That's better?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what was going on there. So I think, Ron, you want to open it up for questions now, or you want to do the budget presentation? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Okay, yeah, and I was muted there. Apologies.
That's okay.
Well, it might be fine to go out of order
Yeah,
and take
let's-
questions while I just gave that monologue on the distance
Distance
learning.
learning. So if we have
If
questions.
people wanted to ask questions just on that,
Okay. So just to reiterate, can you hear me now?
yes.
Okay. All right. I don't know if it came through earlier when I thanked everybody for their hard work. So I just want to reiterate that, and then we can go ahead and we can. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So then let's take questions on distance learning from the public.
Can we tell them how to do it? Is there a way that
Raise-
how do they do it?
In order to do that, there's a
comment?
raise hand feature. If you go to your participants page, and you can should be able to click on the lower right a raise hand icon. If anybody has questions.
Okay.
And Ron, you can monitor that from you.
Actually, Bill Nofi is monitoring that. I've
Okay.
transferred him over to host.
Oh, hey, Bill.
Hello.
Do we have any questions?
Yes, hold on. I got one from Patty Mastro. Hold on.
All right, great.
I'm gonna unmute.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Hi.
Good, thank you. I just wanted to thank all of you for what you're doing. This is amazing. My kids are in 10th grade and 12th grade. So my 12th grader is pretty much on his own, which has been awesome. He said the teachers are doing a great job giving them their lessons. My 10th grader, Max, he just said he's confused when, do the teachers put on per day, per week until they go back? Like, he doesn't know if what he has right now is until he goes back, or every day he's supposed to check. He's not sure. So he's listening next to me. Maybe somebody could help me out with that.
Ron?
Oh, All right. Yeah. Basically, yeah, the teacher should be reaching out, and everyone should have had personal contact with their teacher at this point, this being Wednesday. If that's not the case, then we need to make sure that he can we have activated, as one of the other pieces of this, we did activate all of the student email accounts. So the student email accounts that previously were not live are now live, but there should be, the contact should be on a daily basis. One of the things that we also discussed, that there would be office hours, taking sort of a higher ed model that every teacher should have office hours for minimum an hour a day. So it can be, if you send an email, that's one thing. You could expect a turnaround within 24 hours. But if you contact a teacher within the office hour window, you should be able to get immediate contact. So those are some of the things that we're putting in place. If that's not yet the case, then we certainly can work on that, and we will. Does that help?
Yeah. Yes. Can you hear me? Yes, you can hear
Yes.
me. Okay. Yes, because he also, I don't care. I know it's a public forum. Everybody can hear me, but he also has a one-to-one aide. So that makes it difficult because he gets a lot of in-school support. And I am an educator. I can help him, but I don't know with the Google Classroom. I'm not familiar with that. So maybe somebody could reach out and just let us know so I can help him better.
Okay. We will have somebody reach out to you tomorrow morning.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
But thank you
You got it,
for
absolutely.
everything you're all doing. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Bill, I hope we got that recorded, those nice words.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
All right, I got another one. Hold on, from Kate Adams.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
We can, Kate. How are you?
are
Okay,
you?
I'm good. I'm very good. Thank you. It's nice to see everybody. We're up in the Catskills trying to stay safe and away from everybody. So the internet has been a little tricky for my kids because we're in the mountains, but we're coping, we're doing fine. And I know it's putting the cart before the horse, but I'm just wondering, because my daughter is a senior, does anybody have any kind of a vibe as to a graduation? I know you don't know about the virus and how long it's going to last, but even like over the summer, is there thought of any kind of a graduation?
Hi, Kate. Yeah, I mean, the saddest thing about this, I too have a senior in high school. And some of the saddest things about this is thinking about those kids and their last experience in school. I just want to assure you that every decision we're making, we're looking at it like how can we make this up? So if we're talking about, we're talking about how can we make that up to kids? What does that look like? Does that look like performing some kind of a ceremony over the summer? Perhaps. But right now, honestly, I jokingly said that, it used to be, well, things change, from the state changed by the,
Right,
by
every
the
day.
decade, then it's by the year. And now it's by the hour. So we're really, we're going on the best information we have at the moment, but it's really changing so rapidly that it's tough to make a decision for something that's supposed to take place, June 26th-ish,
Right.
right now. But be assured that any of those milestones that kids have, right now they haven't even canceled the spring sports season.
Right,
So we're not,
right.
we haven't canceled that yet. We'd love to say we're going to have a graduation, but we just don't know what that looks like at this point.
Okay, just putting it out there. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. We're thinking about
Thank
all those
you.
things. Stay safe
Stay
up
safe.
there.
Okay, thanks.
Okay,
Bill?
I have another one from Suzanne Junk. Hold on.
Junk.
Hi,
Hi,
Hello.
Suzanne.
how are you?
Good.
You're
How
doing
are you?
okay.
Thank you, everyone, for all you're doing for us, for our community. I know you're just getting started. I just feel like there's a lot of vagueness to what distance learning actually means. So I get the Google Classroom and all that, but will there be opportunities for something like this, for like a Zoom meeting, so the kids can see their teachers' faces, you know, get some accountability, some contact. So I just feel like they're like missing school, and I think it would be good for them emotionally and mentally. And I just wondered if what is distance learning? Is it only Google Classroom? What is it? I really don't know what it is.
Yeah. And again, I think that looks, it might look different in different, obviously different developmental levels and different areas, different content areas. But yeah, I think that there are clearly some benefits to things like this where you can, see your teacher right in front. And there are some teachers that are utilizing those tools. There are other teachers that are taking videos of themselves and posting them. Like I said, if, developmentally it's one thing, but also when you think about, so when you talk about a high school children, they
This is
can
Clayton
log on.
Huey. This is Clayton Huey.
So
This is fourth grade.
So sometimes it's a little bit more difficult. And, when you have, I could speak to, and again, from a personal standpoint, my wife who's home and has 3 kids, a senior, a sophomore, and a 5th grader. And she's trying to teach her classes. It's pretty hectic in our living room, I have to say. And so it's somewhat of a challenge to have a regular daily schedule where she's going to teach specific lessons live. So she's using it more in the sense that her best possibility is to videotape some things and post those and then have those office hour periods where kids can contact her and FaceTime her with specific questions. So yeah, we're this is evolving, and as we transition into the again, we started out on paper and pencil packets at Clayton Huey. When we realized we were going to be extended, we decided very quickly that we wanted to make sure we were going to utilize online learning and not just packets. And now we're committed to making it all the way down to kindergarten on that. We want to learn, we want to get better, and our teachers are committed to that as well. So certainly want to take that feedback and bring it back and, and try to meet the needs of kids as best we can.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. What else we got, Bill?
That looks like it for now. Let's see. Oh, wait, I got one more. Hold on. Colleen Nizza.
Okay.
Hi there, everybody.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
I wanted to compliment the district. I felt like I really needed to. It's just been an amazing rollout from what I've seen in Santa Moriches. I work in another district, and I know that I work with an incredible staff, but our rollout has not been as smooth and as impressive as what I'm seeing in Santa Moriches. And I've reached out to a couple of my son's teachers to ask them some of the things and tools that they're utilizing so that I can put those things into place with my own students. So I just had to compliment and just say that I'm really impressed. I'm very happy. I know that this is going to be a work in progress. And like you said, it's a completely fluid situation that changes so quickly. And, as an educator, as a parent, I'm just, navigating waters with you guys. So, thank you so much for all you've done. And I just needed to say that.
Well, thank you so much, Colleen.
Thank you.
That really means a lot to us. We're doing the best we can under very difficult circumstances, and we really want to be there for the kids, most importantly.
Yeah. Colleen, thank you, because I think Dr. Massera and his team have done a wonderful job, and all the way for every member of the district, teachers, support staff, everybody has done a wonderful, wonderful job. And it's so nice to hear people in the community supporting them. So thank you for that.
Thank you again.
What else, Bill?
Let's see. Got a lot of people in here now, so I got to scroll through the list. Hold on.
That's good.
We're up to 53 people.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. That's it. No more hands.
All right. Thank you, Bill, and thank you. We'll give some more time a little bit later as we move through the agenda here. So thank you, everybody, for participating. And we have Ms. Loughlin now with our budget presentation, budget workshop number 4. Is she still with us? I don't see.
She is. We're just, we're going to shut down my volume. She's in the room with me, so I have to shut down my volume.
All right. It looks like the Brady Bunch screen. And everybody keeps moving.
Bill, I need to share my screen, please.
Okay,
Oh, there you are.
let's see.
Marcus, that's good lighting for you. Can we get Pat to turn on her camera?
She's on her phone.
Okay.
All right, Carrie, you're the host now, so you can present.
Thank you.
Okay.
So tonight we're going to just quickly go through a brief presentation and update on the budget. Our last board meeting, we had intended to have another workshop between that meeting and the proposed April 15th agenda, which was going to adopt the budget. So being that we pushed last week's meeting to this week, we actually have a little bit more information to share with the public at this time. Oops. So we're going to kind of just give a quick update on 1920 in the situation we're working under right now. 2020, 2021 budget. We have some state aid information, update on expenses, as well as some fund balance, and our budget vote status. Why do I have lines on my thing? Do you see those lines? I did not draw my screen. I don't know where those lines are coming from. That's weird. I don't know. We're gonna work with
They
it.
just exist.
We're gonna work with that.
Press here record on your screen. Take the record to the cloud.
Bill's recording.
No.
He just texted me.
Oh.
I can't.
On the bottom is a record. Yes.
It says it's recording.
You have it recording?
It says pause or stop.
Okay.
It's recording.
I think it's
I need
recording.
to record it because.
All right, so for 2020, the year end right now, we have unusual circumstances we're working under where we were saying that we had, we were going to break even with our fund balance. Now, given our current closure, we actually are going to start seeing some savings in this current school year. We are paying our employees. However, we do have some contracts that are not getting paid just because the service is not happening within the district. So we will realize some savings in there. Our utility costs are going down because our buildings are not up and running. Food service we are providing, but we're not providing to the extent that we were. So those costs are going down. So we have various costs within the district that we will start seeing savings on as a result right now of just the 4-week closure. If we go beyond these 4 weeks, those savings will continue to grow. We're continuing to watch transportation and our salaries as well as special education services as we go through this process, just to monitor where we are and what we're paying. So we're looking at anywhere from an $85,000 to $385,000 savings overall. There we go. So 2020, 2021, we got today, actually just a few hours ago, the state aid numbers came through. And unfortunately, it is less than the governor's proposal from January that we originally had. It's about 370,000 less. We did anticipate that in the past 2 weeks, just with the conversations that have been going on and the state of the economy right now. So we were, not sure where we were going to land. Happy that we did get an on-time budget of April 1st. That gives us some movement as to really go forward and final plan this budget for next year. However, the budget does take into effect that it's holding foundation aid flat, and it is not accepting the governor's proposal of consolidating all of our expense-based aids. So those are flowing through as we have been in the past. The year-to-year decrease, though, from current year to next year is about a $265,000 decrease in revenue that we'll be seeing. So here is just a summary of what we have right now as our proposed revenues. These are the different categories. You can see our largest categories are property taxes as well as state aid. And then the other one is tuition. With property taxes going up, but capped at 1.65% under the tax cap formula, and the other two going down, we're only seeing a $20,000 increase in revenue in year to year for next year's budget. And that takes into account holding our appropriated fund balance at the 1.1 million that it's currently at, and adding some reserves such as unemployment and the employee retirement reserve to the budget to help offset some of those costs. These are the expenditures as they stand today. Salaries, as you can see, are highest costs that we have with a 3% increase. Those are based on contracts we know at this point in time. The other expenses that you'll see there, textbooks, BOCES, debt, the benefits, they're all contractual obligations that we have within the district. We see our expenditures are going up 1.2 million while our revenues were only going up 20,000. So you can see we have an unbalanced budget. We are short of just about 1.2 million in balancing this budget at this time. Back in March, our last meeting, we did put up various options to look at for reductions in the budget. And those are the things that we are starting to look at a little bit more in depth now that we have state aid numbers and they did not come in positive. So we are looking at various avenues such as transportation cost savings. Do we reduce, consolidate some of our sports teams at the middle school? You know, we added a kindergarten teacher, but will we be able to maintain that? What our class size is going to look like next year? Do we buy some equipment that we were proposing going forward? So those are things that the administrative team is starting to work on and will continue to work on as we move forward.
Hey, Carrie, just to be clear, that after applying the incremental fund balance from ERS TRS, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
So with regards to fund balance, we can, we're going to have savings at the end of this school year, which were not anticipated originally. Depending on what that savings is, we could apply that savings this year to next year to increase the applied fund balance, maybe by 200,000, depending on where that lands. Maybe increase employee retirement reserve or the teacher's retirement reserve to the budget to offset it. But we have to remember these are only one-time uses, that this is not fixing the problem. It's just putting a Band-Aid on it for 1 year. So we will have to continue to monitor that. When we use the reserves, though, and apply it to the budget, we don't necessarily have to spend it. It would only get spent if we know at the year end that we're not meeting our budget. So if we, for some reason, have additional tuition students come into the district, or we see an influx of revenue or significant savings somewhere on the expenditure side, and we have excess funds, we don't have to necessarily use those reserves, and we can maintain them at the status quo. So those are things that we'll just have to monitor next year if we decide to go this route. So in order to balance the budget, we are looking at reductions. Like I said, we have about 1.2 million to cut out of our budget right now. We are looking to stay within the allowable levy limit of 1.65. We want to maintain our current programs. We want to maintain current class size, and we want to add that kindergarten section as we're anticipating a larger group of children enrolling in the district than we've had in the past. So with regard to the budget vote, some information we just received this week. The vote was supposed to take place in May. It has been postponed until June 1st at the earliest. We are waiting on guidance on how that vote is supposed to look. Is it going to be absentee ballot? There's conversation if you stay within the tax cap, just your board passes it with majority. There's conversation of it being maybe at a later date in June and having us hold a regular vote. We are waiting on guidance on that. We haven't received the revised timeline for the budget process as well. So we're not sure yet if we have to adopt the budget on the 15th or if that's going to be extended 2 weeks as well. So as soon as we have that information, though, we'll be sharing it out and getting the public notice out with all that information in there. So our next workshop is the 15th. How we're holding that meeting, we will be sure to communicate that out with the community if it's going to be in person or via Zoom like this. But we hope to have a close to final budget at that point in time. Any questions from the board?
No, I don't have any.
you.
Thank you, Carrie.
You're
Thank
welcome.
All right. Motion to adopt the regular meeting minutes of March 11th, 2020.
Motion.
Motion second.
Second.
All in favor? Yes.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously. Pat, it's your turn now, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education accepts the treasurer's report for the month of February 2020.
Motion,
Motion.
second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
Yes, motion carries unanimously.
Be it resolved, a motion to approve the consent agenda. Asterisk agenda items are consent agenda items. Consent agenda items are approved via a single vote unless they are removed from being a consent item prior to the vote.
Motion,
Motion.
second,
Second.
all in favor?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
motion carries unanimously. That brings us, I think, all the way to number 19, Pat.
Okay. Resolved that the Center Moriches Union Free School District calendar for the 2019-2020 school year is hereby amended as per the attached.
Motion,
Motion.
second,
Second.
all in favor?
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
Okay, George, if I could just clarify, that.
Yep, go ahead.
Just for the public, that just basically memorializes the moving of the spring break and the use of our vacation, emergency closing days, essentially. So that's why that needed to be done. Thank you.
Ready?
Yes, go ahead, Pat.
Be it resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education conducts a second reading of the following policies.
Motion,
Motion.
second,
Second.
all in favor?
Yep.
Yes,
Yes.
motion carries unanimously. So, Ron, I don't see on the agenda another public speaking session here. Shouldn't there be one here at the end?
Questions or comments from the community?
Yeah, I don't, questions and comments
It should be for anything that is not
on the agenda.
No.
So if we have anybody out there in Zoom land who has any questions or comments that are not on tonight's agenda, now is the time to click your hand raising button and let Bill know. We're going to turn it over to Bill so he can see. Oh, I see somebody in their living room. Hi, Patrick. So Bill, you can go ahead. If we can give Bill control, give him the conch.
Okay.
As they say in Lord of the Flies. And you got any for us, Bill?
Not yet.
All right. Well, Bill, don't wait too long.
Oh, wait, we got one. Hold on.
Oh, Bill, you waited too long.
Lisa Marin.
Okay, I don't, can you hear me?
We can
Yes.
hear you.
Okay, I just really wanted to reiterate what the other, I think Colleen said, that I think you guys are doing a tremendous, tremendous job. I think moving the spring break and giving us 2 weeks to just get used to everything that's going on right now was a brilliant move, and it gave us 2 weeks to settle in and get used to all the circumstances. And now with that under our belt, we can, concentrate on what's going on with the distance learning. And I, as an educator myself, have an infinite amount of patience for all the teachers and the work that's being done. And I just really did. I think that you've been handling it brilliantly, and I'm very grateful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Bill?
That's it for now. I don't see
That's
anybody
it?
popping up. Hold on. Let me just scan the list.
Don't go crazy, Bill.
All right. Oh, wait. Kate Adams. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Kate Adams is back.
It's back.
Okay, go.
Hello,
Kate?
Kate?
Hey.
Unmute myself. Can you hear me now?
We can
We
hear
can
you.
hear you.
Okay, thank you. Just wondering about Regents and AP exams, if you have any feedback on that?
We believe we're going to be online at best. I mean, AP has already said that they're moving in that direction.
Right.
And we have not gotten any guidance on the Regents exams yet. That's, those obviously are state ed decisions and have some pretty big ramifications if they end up getting canceled or have to make some kind of accommodation for them. but we don't
Okay.
have that information yet, Kate.
All right, thank you.
As soon as we do,
Thank you, Kate.
as soon as we do, I'll.
Bill?
All right, looks pretty clear.
Okay. Before we, well, the next Board of Ed meeting will be on April 15th, 2020 at 7:30 at the district office, or perhaps by Zoom again. We'll see as we continue to try to remain flexible. And I just want to reiterate from my perspective, and I think I'm speaking for the board, and I'm also going to speak as a member of the community, that I too cannot be happier with the leadership team from Dr. Becerra and central office, your staffed out there. But I also want to make sure that the teachers know how grateful we are, because they're the agents of change. Those are the people that are getting it done on a daily basis. And we are very grateful how quickly they were able to pivot and create things in distance learning that they maybe were not prepared for in the past. And we'll all just continue to remain flexible and have good, healthy, safe thoughts for everybody. And we'll get through this as a stronger community. So thank you very much, everybody. We're going to adjourn now into executive session for purposes of discussing the CMTA under the Taylor law or something like that. I think, Pat, it says like that, right?
Yep.
And other personnel matters, which might, that we can't talk about in public is what it comes down to. I don't have the sheet in front of me. And Pat, if we're going to keep doing this, you need to be on the screen next time.
Yeah, we miss you, Pat.
That's probably not going to happen. Pat doesn't like being on TV.
All right. Well, Pat, you're doing it. We're gonna rig you up. I need to see your face. So, thank you everybody for joining us. Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah.
Aye. Thank you so much. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much, public, for joining us on Zoom. Appreciate
Okay,
it.
Thank you.
George, if I could just jump in for 1 second, just before everybody goes, I'm going to have to create another meeting. So Board of Ed, I will be inviting you to another executive session. And once again, from me, thank you to the public, everybody that joined. Remember, we're trying to connect with everybody, so please follow us on our social media at CM_schools, School Super. And tag our hashtags, hashtag CM Positivity, hashtag CM Connections, and hashtag Let's See CM, because we really want to see what's happening out there with the kids in the community. So thanks again for everybody for joining us, and Board of Ed, I'll see you in executive session in just a couple minutes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night.